Hello, everyone, and welcome to the final Zoom for the 21-day kindness challenge. I have my wonderful friends, as always, with me. I have Anne. Hi,
Hi.
Anne. And
Hey,
Leanne. Hello.
bye everyone.
And we're here to talk about, well, I guess do a bit of an overview, but also to talk about the last week, which was kindness in the world around us. Also, I did a shout out and asked people for some feedback about their experience. Of course, we'd love people to turn up, but once again, no pressure. I asked people send us in a message about what was interesting to you from this 21 days, and we've got some messages. Woo!
Hey, go.
Woo!
You all.
But I want to hand over to my fabulous friends, Anne and Leanne, and go, well, in this kindness challenge thing of course, the first week was kindness to self, the second week was kindness to others, and then the third week was taking that shift and focus of kindness in the world sort of around us because, you know, being human and walking around in these chemical flesh sacks that we walk around in every day, our brain is wired for threat detection. So we will see the negative, we will see the threat, we will see that because that's our adaptive mechanism for going, oh, got to sort that out. So finding the great things, they can pass us by. So that's what this week in particular was all about. It was just looking around us and going, what's been going on around us. And so it was a bit of a challenge in the week to sort of see something that you went, oh, I want to change that, or I want to, make it better, more positive. So I had someone tell me this week that they really liked looking around the environment for good things, and they found, just doing a couple of things like picking up some rubbish when they went on one of their walks and they picked up a bit of rubbish, and it just made them feel good because they were just cleaning up the environment a little bit, and that was a positivity for them.
Yeah, great.
Yeah. So that's what this is about. This is about small wins. We're not talking about big, gregarious statements. We're talking about the little tweaks you can do that are good. So, what do you think, ladies?
Oh, let's let Leanne talk because, she's had a holiday, so she's.
See, and Leanne was in self-kindness because she went and had a holiday.
Yeah.
And how good is that for the system, Leanne?
Oh, look, absolutely. I did definitely. I did some pampering of myself. So I was well in the thick of self-kindness.
Yay!
But, the week two for me in terms of kindness to others, and then the last week, which was really about kindness and the environment, that really got me thinking because you mentioned there the example about that one of our participants had where picking up a piece of rubbish. And I think what we undervalue is the impact that we can have on others, where we see something as quite insignificant, picking up a piece of rubbish, but what impact then that will have on the people who use that space, for example. And I saw some research about some university students that was actually published on the Monash University website about kindness. And this research actually showed that when university students did a self-kindness meditation, and they practiced that daily, their rates in the short and long term, they had reduced reported rates of anxiety, depression, and stress.
Yeah.
And so we obviously talk a lot about what it can do for us, but then I guess it is more about its impact then on others and what that longer term impact is. I guess
there are so many benefits to, looking after yourself and looking after others and having that common sense of kindness.
And so that's where you think like, if I do self-kindness am I selfish? And so I struggled with that for a very long time because, most of our ways of processing emotions and feelings is growing up in the family home and environments. And I saw my mum was a very selfless woman. And so I saw giving yourself up and
Yeah.
doing all these acts of generosity and kindness, extremely kind things my mum used to do, was your way of, looking after yourself, being a good citizen, and then you will get something back in return. So then I grew up thinking that if I give and give and give and give, that means that I'm a good person and a noble citizen. Not realizing that what impact overgiving has on
Oh.
myself and then what that has on my relationships.
Oh,
You overgive, then you become resentful because you don't get it back.
oh,
Yeah.
because you're expecting that transactional process, isn't it?
Yeah.
And it's if I'm kind to someone, and that's actually another person said in the feedback
Yes.
said the thing that they found difficult was, in the second week we were sort of saying, oh, give people compliments. And then so they were running around giving people compliments everywhere, and then went, oh, but nobody's giving me any back. Oh.
Mm.
And so they got flat because they were like, oh, well, no one's got anything nice to say to me. And it's like, isn't that interesting? Because you were giving those compliments not just because it felt good, you were expecting a transactional return.
Mm.
Yeah.
So that is the important thing here. Kindness it just is what it is.
Yeah.
It doesn't need, if you do it, you do it because you genuinely want to do it because it feels good.
Mm.
Mm.
Yeah.
And we need to remember too that a lot of people don't know how to give that back
Yeah.
because they feel uncomfortable getting it in the first place.
Yeah.
So I just of late, not because of the challenge, but in the last couple of years, I have made the effort, especially with my clients who are suffering from a lot of mental health. I will say to them, I'm so proud of you. You're doing a great job. Keep it up. And they look at you like you've got two heads.
Yeah.
And they think, okay, good, great. They just feel so uncomfortable because they've never had that before. They've never felt someone say that to them before, just because we're in the same building or within earshot of each other. So, we need to give it to get it, yes, but it's not going to come from the same person we gave it to. So,
No, and and not to have that expectation.
yep,
Yes.
exactly right.
Exactly. And then I think sometimes we have to learn how to take on a compliment too, because sometimes when you get a compliment, you get,
little icky.
and I can remember having to learn just to say thank you.
Yeah.
Struggle with that.
And leave it. So no, because, people would say, oh, thanks, Sue, for blah, 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 blah. And I'd go, oh, no, that wasn't me. That was, this person helped me with that. And this person did this and this person did that. And no, and instead of just going, oh, thanks, because that person just wanted to say thank you. So I then complicated it by giving it off to everybody else because I felt
Yes.
Yeah. So how can we receive the compliment with gratitude?
Yeah.
For the intention that it was given. Yeah. There's the trick, isn't it? Yeah. And so we got some great feedback. So firstly, a big thing that a few messages I got actually was in the first week. People found the hard to be gentle with themselves and kind to themselves. So they were a bit sick of the first week by the end of it because the critic in their head was struggling to compute with the kindness and you're not selfish. This is for your well-being. And to look after your well-being so that you can keep giving to others, you need a bit more time out for yourself. And so big struggle street. What do you think of that, guys? What do you think of that? Like, I find that interesting.
Yeah. I mean, I struggled. as well, and I sort of, I wasn't overly hard on myself, but there are a couple of things that I do on a daily basis, and I feel if I miss it for whatever reason, I'm too tired, I'm ready for bed, and I don't complete that task by the end of the day, I would beat myself up to the point where, God, what's the point of doing it? You've missed one day. Get over.
Yeah,
And
And
then
you know what?
you know,
Tomorrow's a new day to start again.
that's
exactly.
right.
So I pulled back a little bit and I just said, oh, look, it's one day in. You'll be fine. You know, your journal's not going to fall apart. Your world's not going to fall apart because you missed one day in your journal. So
Yep.
it's okay.
Cool. Yeah. It is, because sometimes we've got into a habit with that negative self-talk, haven't we?
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
Yep.
So, yeah, it's that easy default of idiot. Ah.
Yep. It is. Yeah. Yeah.
Cool.
And I guess also flowing on from that is that comparison trap where we compare ourselves to others and think, oh, why can't we be doing that? You see on social media the person that's waking up at 5 a.m. to meditate, connect with the sun, do their daily affirmations and drink their green smoothie. And then you think, well, why can't I do that?
Yeah.
For years I just couldn't understand why I couldn't get up at 5 a.m. to go to the gym like my colleague used to before work. But I still went to the gym. It's just that I went in the afternoon, but I was racking my brain and I was Googling, is it better to go in the morning or in the afternoon? Not just going, but I'm just doing it, and that's okay.
Yeah.
What I'm doing is enough,
Yeah.
Yep.
Mm.
Yep. And it's that sort of, you've got to watch that comparison component of, because we're all different humans. And so what works for one person doesn't necessarily work for the next person.
Yeah.
Yeah, good on you. Good win on that one. In the second week, we did talk about the kindness to others, and doing that compliment thing and all of that sort of stuff. One person said they're not really a complimentary sort of person. They just said it's not really in their nature to give people compliments, but they gave it a whirl, right? Because they said, those morning messages made me think, oh, well, maybe I could do some of it. So they did. They gave people a few compliments, and then they said what happened was it opened the door to have just some conversations at work, like people going, oh, yeah, no. And so they actually learnt a couple of new things about some colleagues that they didn't know.
Right.
Because they just started having a different conversation.
Yeah. Fantastic.
Like,
so relationship building.
Exactly. Just from simply going, oh, I love that thing about you. And then that person went, oh, thanks. Oh, let me tell you about that. And then went off on a whole new tangent, and they discovered things and this person said, I've worked alongside this person for 4 years. I didn't know any of this.
Yeah, it's great.
So that was another nice thing. So, and that was the one thing that this resonated with this person. They said, I just didn't realize, that by this one little compliment thing, how that could change how I have conversations with people.
Yeah.
So there you go. Another interesting one. Yeah.
Sorry.
Oh, no, go.
I found in that week too, I started to observe. So I became the observer and was watching other people and their interactions, and noticing the kindness that was happening between people. And one thing that I, obviously working at a school, one thing that I came across was a book written by a school leader who's been in schools worldwide, over 30 years experience. She's written a book called, and it's called, let me see if I can find the name of the book. It's called Kind Leadership. That's it. So she's got 30 years experience in schools. And she talks about leading schools with empathy and honesty. The fact that quite often we focus in schools on metrics and measures, but she actually has a model around leading with kindness. I'm not sure if you have seen or heard of the book.
No. So what was it again? Say it again.
So it's called Kind Leadership. And the
Kind
author
leadership.
the author is Joanna Pavel, Povall.
Oh,
So she's talking about having an impact just through kindness, and she gives it her own little model, based on neuroscience. We talked about the neuroscience of kindness in terms of what it does for oxytocin, which is
yes.
your
It's the
your
love
hormone.
hormone.
Yes,
It's that love and
yes,
connection thing.
Yep.
yes. So, and it got me thinking about a school principal that I had in my first years of teaching. I was staying back late, his first year teacher, inexperienced. I had to over plan and over prepare. And it was dark outside, and he came up to me and he said, "Leanne, I'm really concerned that you're still here and it's 6 o'clock at night. And I'm concerned because it's dark and it's cold and it's wet. And I know you've got a long drive home." And I never forget that conversation. But I walked out thinking, "Oh, he's really fine. He cares about me. He cares about my, not,
He was
not
worried
my,
about your welfare.
exactly, not
Yes.
just, my students' end of year results, which, back in those days, the way we got them was the principal called us in and he had them. And the first time we saw them was when he handed them to us. So I worked out he wasn't just concerned about the impact that I was having on our kids. He was concerned about me.
Yes.
And
Which
that's
is lovely.
really resonated with me.
Yeah. And I think that's what we want with kindness. We want it to mean something. So, when we offer it and when we do it to ourselves, we do it, because it gives us a lift, not because we have to.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's that, and another person who sent in some things to sort of give us some feedback about what they felt. They said they've actually had other people notice over the 21 days that they were shifting some things, that they were not taking on as much. They were pushing back and putting boundaries in and saying, I can't do that today. I'll try to get to it tomorrow, pushing back a little bit. And they said people started noticing that. And so, and one person actually said they actually got a compliment from, a friend saying it's really good to see you, saying no and stepping back and looking after yourself, because I haven't seen you do that for a while.
Mm. Mm.
And so that's what I think we wanted this kindness challenge to be about, wasn't it? Was just to change a circuit breaker in what is our normal life, so that we can do things a bit more intentionally, that makes our lives better.
Yeah. And the lives of others, consequently.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well,
isn't it? It's just a given, I think, that once we're feeling better, it helps other people.
Yeah.
Because we are in care workforces. I mean, we all do jobs where we are effectively nurturing others all the time, right?
Yeah.
So if we're feeling like we have more energy, if we feel better, if we feel good, that has a flow-on effect to everyone we turn up to be present with.
Yeah. 100%.
It's just that sometimes,
Oh, sorry, I was just going to say, well, for you healthcare workers, Hippocrates said, "Cure sometimes, treat often, and comfort always."
Yeah. So it does. And so that's why this is all about. So I guess it's the end of the challenge, which is always, that thing of, well, how can we take some, and that's why I always ask people, What's the one thing that you've taken from this challenge that you'll take with you and keep doing now that we're going to go? I mean, Anne, Leanne, and myself, we're out now. You know, we're coming up, we're devising the next grand plan. But what's the one thing that you're just going to, I'm going to keep doing this because I like it.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's the big challenge item. And then I want you to go back and do your self-kindness challenge. We'll send you the link in email always so that you go back and sort of compare your first score with your second score. And that's just about your own proving it to self that after 21 days you did get something a bit different. And isn't that interesting?
Yeah.
And then, yeah, I'll tell you about the next exciting challenge. But I guess I want to flip to you, Leanne and Anne. Like, what's one thing that, you know, out of this kindness challenge that you'll probably just keep thinking about moving forward and you'll keep putting it in your toolkit in your life?
Well, for myself, it takes no effort to compliment someone else. It's someone coming towards you with really cool shoes. Oh, I love those shoes. Look at those shoes. And then they're gone.
Yep. And that person loves that.
Yeah. Yeah. So it's no skin off my nose. It's no extra time out of my day. You know, to confirm to somebody that they're doing a great job for themselves is important. And I think regardless of my profession, that's something we should all be doing.
Fabulous. Compliments. Love them. What about you, Miss Leanne?
For me, kindness and accountability can coexist.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's my big takeaway item and just my big item around moving forward in terms of how I'm going to interact with my students. You know, that I can make them accountable, but I can do it in a kind way.
Yeah.
Exactly. Like to sort of say, you know, let's get this finished up because, you know, when you get it finished up, how good is that going to feel?
Yeah.
You know, like because how good, I mean, and I think that's the thing I used to love, and I think that's why I'm a little addicted to studying, is because it feels so good when you finish an assignment and you get it submitted and you're like, oh, I did that. And, you know, when you finish something, like it's such a cool, and it is, there's a big release of dopamine, actually, if you want to look at the neuroscience, that you get from completing things.
Yeah.
Even little to-do lists, you know, there's little check boxes that you create in a day sometimes with your to-do list. When you tick them off, woo, dopamine, woo. Yeah. So
I get that from patting a puppy. I don't need to study to do.
Yeah, that's cute. I was just going to say, I get, what's the stress hormone?
the stress, cortisol.
I get cortisol when I lose my to-do lists.
Okay, so we'll get you a very solid notebook. All right.
Exactly.
Can't lose that. All right. But and I guess the exciting thing is that these 21-day challenges are these gentle, and we want them to be fun, little reflective 21-day moments that you can kind of go, wow, there could be another way to help me shift just something. Okay. And that will help my wellness. When I'm well, the world is better because I'm better in it, you know, and that's what we're looking for here. So in exciting news, we of course, we've got another 21-day challenge coming and starting on the 1st of November. And we're looking at strength and resilience. But here's the deal. Through this kindness challenge and some of the feedback we've gotten, people, that first week challenge has really bugged some people. And I think what I've read from the feedback is that people they said, I just don't forgive myself enough. I really don't understand how to forgive myself. I really don't understand forgiveness. So that was a red flag to me. So guess what? On the 1st of November, we're going to have a 21-day forgiveness challenge.
Excellent. Yay.
I know it's a bit of a one. It's actually really exciting. It's taken me down a psychology rabbit hole, which is very exciting. So the 1st of November, 21 days of forgiveness.
Yeah.
And it's
Okay.
looking at forgiveness from all different angles. And it's just so hopefully in the 21 days, what we're actually hoping is there's going to be one day that just resonates with you and changes your feelings for the future,
Mm.
you know? And so and because that'll take us beautifully into the end of the year when, when we get into that Christmas and New Year period where we are going to have to forgive some family members for something because that's family, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So we're going to have to forgive. And so it'll take us into the end of the year beautifully, build our forgiveness. So when we come back in the new year for 2027, we're going to look at our strengths.
Awesome.
All right. Because strengths are powerful. So let's
Yeah.
start the new year off powerfully, is where our thinking was going with that.
Mm. Right.
I know it's very exciting times here. It's again. So look out for the 21 days of forgiveness. We're going to kick off on the 1st of November. As always, invite your friends, invite your cat, invite your dog. We don't care. Invite whoever you want to bring along. And share it all out with your work colleagues. We make the flyers. Just share. Easy to sign up. Anyone's welcome. We just want to, offer a way of happiness and well-being.
Mm.
Yeah. All right. Well, thank you, Leanne and Anne. I want to thank you because you're amazing that you come along all the time and be part of this. And I'm very grateful.
Thank you.
Thank you. You're amazing. All right. Well, good night, everyone. And we'll see you at the next challenge. Bye.
Bye.